Hi everyone, today I'm going to be regripping an old used tennis racket with a replacement grip and an overgrip. Now you might recognize that the overgrip I'm using is one of those cheap ones you can buy on eBay. I bought about 30 of them for only $9 and they're actually not too bad for the cost. Now the replacement grip I'll be using is a cheap Wilson Comfort grip that I bought at Walmart for only about $3. It was actually cheaper to buy this in stores than online, and I'm only going to be using this cheap one to save money on this old used racket, which I might not play with that often. Now when I took off the original grip, which was really degrading, there was a layer of plastic adhesive still on the handle. Normally I would remove this, but since I won't care too much for this racket, I just decided to leave it on. Now this may cause the grip to be uneven in certain places, but if you're not too picky, you can save time and keep your hands from becoming too sticky by just leaving it on there. So now I'm going to unravel the grip and set the finishing tape to the side. The replacement grip is a little bit harder to apply compared to overgrips because it's thicker, has adhesive on the bottom, and doesn't stretch too much. You will have to apply it with minimal overlap to make sure the grip can cover the whole entire handle, and when you take it up to redo it, it might be a little bit harder the next time around. Here's a quick time lapse of me putting it on the racket. Make sure you apply the grip from the base of the handle up, and check to make sure the Wilson logo is right side up. This will ensure that you have wrapped it around the correct way. Now that I have finished applying the replacement grip, I will need to mark and cut off the excess grip which goes beyond the handle of the racket. To do this, I recommend using the Sharpie and scissors to even out the top and cut along the lines. Doing this will make the racket look a lot nicer and make it a lot easier to apply the overgrip. Now I am going to unpeel the top of the replacement grip to find where the handle meets the neck of the racket. I will use a fine point Sharpie to mark out the top edge and draw all the way around the racket. The mark and the cut don't have to be perfect. This will be covered up by the finishing tape and overgrip, or a rubber band if you have one. And as you can see, even with an imperfect cut, the grip still turns out okay. Now I'm just going to apply the finishing tape and move on to the overgrip. The best way to apply the finishing tape is to cover the small end of the grip and go straight around the racket and overlay the finishing tape entirely. It's not a good idea to spiral the tape upwards or even overlap it onto the frame of the racket. In this case, the tape is not wide enough for that, and it wouldn't really stick to the racket anyway. Now that I have applied the finishing tape, the replacement grip is complete and seems to be pretty smooth. I personally don't play with just the replacement grip and prefer to apply an overgrip to extend the life of the grip and increase the grip size just a bit. So here is the eBay overgrip. It's supposedly by Yonex, but I've used better Yonex grips in the past, and I honestly think this is just a knockoff. When unraveling the grip, I like to stretch this one out a lot before I apply it. This material is extremely thick and stretchable, and by doing this it prevents rolls or bunches from forming when applying it to the handle. The first time I used this type of grip, I didn't stretch it out, and the overlaps were so thick they caught on my hands and slid off the racket handle. You will also notice that this cheap type of overgrip does not have a gradual end to it. I suggest cutting one because it will make the grip more even on both sides of the handle. I will mark the overgrip from about halfway up vertically and make another mark when the grip has gone one wrap around the handle. I will draw a line using a Sharpie and then cut it to give it the same feel most higher quality overgrips have. I find that this makes the base of the handle more even and prevents bunch ups that you may find annoying. After cutting, unpeel the adhesive on the overgrip and start wrapping it around the handle from the bottom up, just like how we did the replacement grip. Remember to make sure that the Yonex logo is right side up. In this case, the overgrip wraps around clockwise in the opposite direction that the replacement grip did. Here's another time lapse of me putting the overgrip on. I like to put minimal overlap on the grip, and only about 1 to 2 centimeters are really needed. Any less would be prone to sliding off easily, and too much would cause the grip to be too short when applying it, or have a very rounded feel to it. To prevent bunch ups while wrapping it, I apply plenty of stretch and pressure to the grip when applying it. Just remember, you may not want to stretch it out too much with thinner types of grips, which may tear with too much pressure. Finally, just like the replacement grip, I will cut off the extra grip at the top and apply the finishing tape in a similar fashion. So that about sums it up for applying the replacement grip and overgrip on a used tennis racket. Thanks for watching this video, and if you'd like to talk about anything related to tennis, leave a comment below or check out the channel. Have a good one.